Hey everyone, it's Wednesday, and what does that mean? That's right, it's the day after Tuesday, but it's also Next Gen Latest, where we look at the prior week, see what's happened with next gen consoles that are coming out hopefully at the end of this year. Now we know all there is to know in terms of the tech, pretty much, other than the demonstrations and seeing some games and hands-on and all of that lot. And last week I was discussing the fact that Microsoft has said that there wouldn't be a delay, and it's likely that Sony wouldn't miss a heartbeat on that front and bugger that up and not release their console too. So it's very likely that PlayStation will follow suit too. Now what they didn't say, which makes an awful lot of sense, is that yeah, there may be the fact that the consoles aren't delayed, but there may not be that many of them. That's the thing to consider, really, is that we will be getting the consoles, but the demand for consoles will be great when you consider normally the demand is huge anyway at any sort of console release. It's usually a bit of a struggle sometimes to get one unless you're sort of right on it on day one. This time we not only have that aspect, but there's also a strong possibility that we're likely to have some real scarcity introduced by the coronavirus, of course, and the fact that most of the world is closed for now. As a result of that, it's going to be very interesting in terms of the actual true availability, and I have a feeling that both Microsoft and Sony are going to say, stocks are okay at the moment. They're not going to create any form of panic, and it's only going to be at the very, none of them are going to be first saying there's going to be limited stock, because then that gives the other one, Microsoft, so if Sony said that, it then gives Microsoft the opportunity to sort of say, well, we'll find a way and a means of creating more production, and whatever. I'm sure they're both doing that anyway, but so there's scarcity in there that is somewhat of a concern. In terms of other news, we know all the sort of the technical aspects of both consoles. We're still oddly waiting for PlayStation to show us more than just the logo. Thanks, Sony. We've kind of seen everything with, the Xbox One has been a bit, as Xbox Series One has been, Xbox Series X, see what I mean, Microsoft, has been a bit of a slut. She's shown us all, the curve, well, a bit of a curves and her angles and all that, and then she's not only done that, she's got completely undressed and shown us everything before we've even taken her on a date. It's like, it's the console equivalent of a penis pic, I think, so yeah. And I must say, Digital Foundry did a teardown of the console, hands-on teardown, and it's really worth a watch. If you've not seen it, hunt it down. It'll be out there. I'm sure it's got billions of views, and it's just amazing to see how Microsoft have created a real. It's almost beautiful in a way in terms of how it fits together, like kind of Lego, and just the design of it is so incredibly well put together, better than PCs in many ways. It's just fits perfectly, and how they've managed to fit all of that power, all of that within a console that's twice two GameCubes together. That is amazing. So really we need to see, it's just waiting on Sony to see what the hell they've put together. We've seen the dev consoles, and they kind of look cool, sort of a bit sort of Flash Gordon-y, if those of you that remember the old Flash Gordon. Gordon's alive. Look at him. Yeah, so I really hope Sony are going to pull it out of the bag. For me, I was going to buy both consoles, but I do have a hefty PC, and it doesn't make sense for me to just get, as much as I would like an Xbox Series X. It just doesn't make sense. And I really am, really am in love with Sony's first-party games. And I just can't, and that's the console I would get. Chances are, knowing what I'm like, I probably will eventually get an Xbox Series X as well, because it's about the ownership. There's no helping me. There really isn't. So those are my thoughts. That's the news I've read on the Xbox and the new PlayStation coming out. Hopefully I'll have a lot more to say next week. Until then, stay safe. Look out for your elderly relatives and neighbours, and stay indoors. Do not go outside, people. Well, go outside to your garden, but not like people going thinking it's bloody holiday. Some people. See you next week. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Consider subscribing, and of course, if you do, click the damned bell. See you next time. Take care.